Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Motivational Monday, where each one teach one. Hi, Philly.
Hey, honey, how are you?
I'm
Hey,
blessed and
viewers.
highly favored. Thank you
Awesome.
for coming on and thank you for, always being on Motivational Monday. I do appreciate it, you know.
Thank you, my love.
All right.
Wait to have
Father God,
it.
yes. Father God, I just come to you today, dear Lord, asking you for guidance and protection. That everybody on this podcast tonight, dear Lord, if they have any kind of problems, any kind of sickness, heal them, dear Lord Jesus. Guide them and protect them in no other name but in Jesus' name I pray. Amen and amen.
Amen.
All right. So first I want to
Mhm.
say weekend going, I was in Canada, my aunt Berry. So I want to say condolences going out to the Granhams family in Canada, all my cousins. It was a pleasure. My aunts. Thank you guys. Thank you for the support from my co-workers and everybody. It was a great weekend. I just want to say happy belated birthday going out to Carrie Ammon, and happy belated birthday to my brother Selwyn and all
Yes.
those that celebrating birthdays for this week. If I forget your name, happy birthday. All right.
Mhm.
Word of the week, Philly.
Okay, let me pull it up. I'm on live, mama. Okay, word of the week is brackish. Brackish is Brackish. Brackish means somewhat salty. It usually describes water or bodies of water, such as rivers, lakes, and estuaries. It also can mean something that is not appealing to the taste or something that is repulsive. Brackish.
Okay. All right. So, we learn every
New
day, we learn
words every
every week we learn a
day.
new word.
Yes.
So I want to say welcome to TikTok too. I'm on TikTok. I am
Awesome.
on Twitch. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Just trying out all these lives on different platforms. Want to say good night to everyone that is locking on. Thank you guys. All right. So verse of the week.
Okay, verse of the week comes from Mark 8, verse 35. And it says, if you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake and for the sake of the good news, you will save it. So I think for me, this quote means that trying to hold on to something means that
Right.
you should be trying to be more grounded than trying to hold on to things, almost like prevention is better than cure. So I think it's always best to have the word to always ground you and keep your foundation solid so there are not a lot of cracks in it, and then you won't have a reason to hold on to dear life.
All right.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah.
So who are we shouting out this week?
Okay, so what I've been adding to it is shouting out a celebrant, but also for a quote of the day. So the
Right.
quote of the day says, it isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out. It's the pebble in your shoe. And this meaning is highlights how small overlooked problems can have a bigger impact than seemingly large challenges. So while major goods or obstacles might seem daunting, it is often the minor irritations and persistent distractions that make the issues unresolved. So it's best to focus our energy over the time being. And with that quote, the celebrant of the day, his name is Upjeet Singh, and he's
Yeah.
widely known as GT, and he has taken a decisive step towards the revival of a historic Suwain Industrial Academy that's in Liberia, West Africa. He donated $3 million, and this, I guess, this institution has been in dissolve from since the end of Liberia's 14-year civil war. So
Okay.
this commitment to bring it back from the ground up was a great donation and showcase of humanitarianism.
Okay, great.
All
All right.
right.
So my health tip for the week will be uh, most common back pain causes, and I know a lot of people suffer from back pain. So you can develop back pain for many reasons, but some causes are more common than others. Wear and tear on the bones that's from your spine. Muscles and other tissues in your back can occur due to aging or overusage, leading to aches and pain. Injuries from accident, falls, and other form of trauma are another common cause of back pain. Other includes diseases that trigger chronic inflammation in your spine and other back structures. Back pain can also be the symptoms of some diseases, such as cancer, or can be linked to certain infection. Your back pain has three distinctive regions, which you can think of the upper, middle, and lower. While most of the major causes of back pain can affect all three regions, some causes of aches and stiffness strike often in the lower back, while others tend to affect the middle and upper section. And while back pain is one of the most common physical complaints, its cause can vary greatly from one person to another. Upper back pain causes are poor posture, muscle strain. So, we always have to sit down properly, sit up properly, always have our chest up in the air and our back square. Now, Philia and I are not doctors. We are reading from Google. So that's
Yes,
our health tip for today. So
exactly.
now I'm going to bring on our guest tonight, and we are going to chat with Mr. Taylor on
Hey.
investment education workshop.
All right. Excellent.
Okay, let me bring him to the stage. Hold
Okay.
on, Anne.
Evening.
Okay, good night.
Good night, Mr.
Okay,
Taylor.
one
Good
moment.
evening. Good evening.
I,
Happy
I
New
saw
Year
him
one more
just now.
time. If it's still the
Gosh.
evening, say it.
Still the beginning. How are
Yeah.
you?
Doing good. Doing good. How was the
It's
last week?
going
Okay,
well.
yes, there you are.
Yep.
Welcome.
Y'all can hear me? There
Yes,
we go.
yes,
Loud and
we
clear.
hear you.
We hear you loud and clear.
Amen to that. How y'all doing?
We're good. How are you?
New week.
New week, new
Indeed.
responsibilities, new dreams, new goals.
Amen to that. This is my king of the night, so let's get
Awesome.
the party started. I tell you. So, are we going to be asking me questions? How did we want to run through this tonight?
Um, you take the lead. Or
Oh, all
yeah,
right.
I mean, go with the flow.
Sounds good. Well, I know that tonight's conversation was going to be centered around the subject of investing,
Yeah.
and there's a lot
Yeah.
that you could talk about when you talk about investing. So tonight, I wanted to keep things very simple, very
Mhm.
basic, very fundamental, basically building your financial education around the subject of investing from the ground up. We'll take it brick by brick. So the
Mhm.
first thing,
Mr. Taylor?
Yeah, bring him back on,
Okay.
or maybe he will have to come back on the live stream.
Yeah, let me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we have Mr. Taylor. Okay, I see. Add him to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me add him
let's
back.
try that one more time. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
we seeing
I
you.
know what I did. I clicked on leave studio instead of present. That
Okay.
you definitely don't want to leave the studio. Hold on. Let me find this here. Share screen. Share screen. And we're going to do that. Could you see that screen?
Not yet.
No,
It
not
should be
yet.
popping up.
All right,
Is it coming
let's
up
wait
now?
a little bit.
It says I'm sharing on my end.
No, maybe. Oh, just now. Hold on. Yes, I'm seeing. Hold on. Let me get it.
The joys of technical difficulties. Here we go.
Okay, we're good.
All right, perfect. So this is where
Okay.
I'd recommend we all kind of start is when it comes to saving and investing, it really, the first question you have to ask is, well, what am I saving? What am I investing for? What's the goal? And when we work with all of our
Right.
clients, there are really three main types of savings / investment accounts that we want to ensure that they all have. And number one is the first one. It's an emergency fund. That's money that you're actually not investing. It's money that you're holding in cash. Now, some people hold this money in a checking or a savings account or a high yield savings account. I have some clients that they hold this money in an envelope in their house. It really doesn't matter. The most important thing is you have easy access to it. And as you can see here on screen, it says the goal is a minimum of 3 months of income or 3 months of expenses. And it's literally for exactly what it says. Emergencies, whether the boiler breaks or you need a new set of tires or somebody got sick and your health insurance is not necessarily taking care of all of the premiums or whatever the case might be. It's just stuff for, especially if you're a homeowner, you definitely need emergency funds, but everyone needs emergency funds. Here's why. If you don't have an emergency fund and an emergency happens, what are most people likely to do? They're either going to go into credit card debt to pay for that emergency, or if you have a company 401k or a retirement plan through your job, you're going to take money out of that account to pay for the emergency, which, yes, you take care of the emergency, but unfortunately, you end up taking away from your future savings and accumulation. So that's the most important account to start off with, your emergency fund. And again, you don't invest that money, you just hold it in cash. The three places that you could hold it, checking or savings account, or literally money in some kind of safety deposit box in your home or a safe, whatever the case might be. The most important thing for you to be aware of, don't invest it and keep it easily accessible. Which leads us to the second. Go ahead.
So with the emergency account, how much you think, maybe like what a week for people, because not everyone could afford a big amount. So what would you say, could they start like with 25 or something like that?
Yeah, you could start any savings or accumulation goal that you could have. You could start with small amounts, whether it's $25 or $50 per paycheck or $25 or $50 a week. And the most important thing is you can set, your goal should be to automate these things, meaning you shouldn't have to physically have to go save it or transfer it from your checking to your savings. You should easily just have it automated. And a lot of banks that you do business with, whether it's Chase or Bank of America or Wells Fargo or MCU, most banking institutions allow for automatic transfers between accounts, and it's easy to set up. You could literally walk into your bank tomorrow and you could literally set it up to where every single time you get paid, a certain dollar amount goes into this account, and you kind of set it and forget it. So just to answer your question, you could start off with a very small amount. Does that answer your question?
Okay, great. Yes.
And then you go into your short-term account. As it says there, it's a minimum of 6 months of income or household expenses for purchases within 3 to 5 years. That could be the down payment on a house. That could be for the unforeseen loss of a job and that period of time that you're in between jobs. In fact, I literally earlier today at 2 p.m., I was interviewing someone who lives in Georgia. He has an extensive human resources background, and unfortunately, his company let him and a few other people go late last year. So he's in between jobs. That short-term account would be the buffer that he'd be using. And he literally said, yeah, I'm using some of my savings to
Right.
hold me over until I get my second job. We were doing an interview for him to come work with me part-time, possibly full-time. But that's what that bucket of money might be. You could also use it for the down payment on your house. Now, can you invest that money? Yes, you can. You could invest it in short-term, conservative mutual funds, tax-free municipal bonds, and things of that nature. We'll get into that in a few minutes. But then the third and most important account is your wealth builder account. That's money that you're specifically setting aside for when you no longer work. You're
Right.
in your 60s, you reach age 65 or 62 or 67, whenever it is that you decide to retire. This is the pile of money that, in addition to Social Security, whatever that may be, your pension, if you get one, this is the pile of money that will fund your total retirement lifestyle. And the sooner you start, the bigger that money grows, especially when it comes to investing for retirement. You want
Right.
to make sure that you start early. And if you're listening to me and you're in your 30s or your 40s and you're thinking, well, I haven't started as yet, there are two great times to start investing. It was 10 to 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. So start. That's the
Nice.
most important thing. Yes. Was there a question in
Yeah,
between that?
Nicole was saying that she usually save $50 per pay period. So that's good. At least
Exactly.
it's a start.
Yes, and it sounds like Nicola has it automated. So that's the important thing. You want to have it set up to where it's just coming out, set it and forget it. And that's how you want most of your financial picture to look, is automated. Because if you have to actively go to your bank or actively log into the app on your phone and make that transfer, chances are you're either not going to do it or you're going to forget to do it. But if it's already automated and you just see the money transferring over, and then you get to see a balance start to grow and accumulate, it actually gives you the emotional energy to say, hey, I'm having some small wins. Let me continue doing this. And that's a great feeling to have. So the most important message I want to, I guess, leave with everyone is no matter where you are, start saving, start investing, obviously based according to whatever budget parameters that you might have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, make a lot of sense.
Good.
Start
And
somewhere.
then, yes. So I wanted to spend some time talking about rules of investing. We're going to focus predominantly on the second and the third bucket. And this is one of the most important rules that you want to apply. It's called the Rule of 72. And basically what it says is if you take the number 72, by the way, this is also called the banker's rule, especially when you're saving for retirement, your children's education. This is one of the most important rules. What it says is if you take the number 72 and you divide it by whatever interest rate that you're getting on the money that you're saving for the future, it shows you how long it takes for that money to double. So as you can see here, let's say you're getting a 4% interest rate and you had 10,000 sitting in a CD or a money market at your local bank. 4 goes into 72 18 times. So you're waiting a total of 36 years for that 10,000 to turn into 40,000. Now, how many of you listening to me have 36 years to wait around for your money to grow?
Not that.
I'd like to assume that that's none of us. And I don't care how much shea moisture and cocoa butter you're using, we don't have that time to wait around. Now, if you average 6%, a 6% rate of return, 6 goes into 72, as you can see here, 12 times. You've doubled the interest rate, but you've quadrupled the savings. Now, where can we get 6%? Historically, bond-type mutual funds have averaged 6%. That's one of the decent places. The average individual 401k, meaning someone who is not really getting any kind of guidance, we've actually noticed that 401k is where people are just kind of winging it. They're in two conservative options in their 401k. They're only averaging about 6%. So people are saving and people are investing It's just that they're not doing it in the right places. Now, everyone
Right.
sees 12% and they think to themselves, well, can we actually get 12%? Well, you can if you're investing in the right places. But more importantly, the point of this here is to show you that the better rate of return that you're getting, the faster your money grows. 12 into 72 is doubling every 6 years. So notice, is the same 36 years that went by. It was the same money that we invested. The only difference here was how the money was growing, the rate of return. The better the interest rate, the better the money grows, the better your money will actually end up accumulating to be. And retirement, hopefully you guys have figured out by now, is no longer based on how old you are. It's based on how much money you have. Like the average person listening to me right now probably doesn't have a pension. Now, some people do, but for those of you who don't have a pension, it's really important
Right.
that you take ownership of your need to save and invest for your future so that when you get to retirement, you're not having to rely on something as limited as Social Security, because they're projecting that Social Security payments will actually decrease by the year 2035. So if that's the only thing that you're relying on, it's time to stop relying on it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's an important. Now, I forgot to mention, let me come back here. So emergency funds, again, checking, savings, even an envelope somewhere in the house. Your
Right.
short-term accounts, you could have a brokerage account. Your wealth building account, that's typically your 401k, your 403b, any company sponsored retirement plan, or if you work for yourself, you could do a simple IRA, a SEP IRA. IRA stands for individual retirement account. And how do you open up those types of accounts? You could either do it yourself, as in create a brokerage account with Fidelity or Vanguard or any one of these other companies, or if you want professional guidance to help you navigate those decisions and which investment choices to make as you grow, that's where someone like me comes in, a fiduciary investment advisor. They'll not only help you open up the accounts, but they'll help you manage the money on your behalf and pick the right investment strategy so that as things change for you, your strategy can change over time. Does that kind of make sense for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So we talked about the rule of 72. The next thing that I want to share with everyone is, well, where does my money, when I invest my money, where does it actually go? And the challenge for everyone, when we think about investing, most people think about stocks and the stock market. Like if you take a look at these companies that are popping up, how many of you remember these individual companies?
What's yes.
Exactly. In fact, if you live in Queens, New York, there was a Toys R Us by Green Acres Mall, but all of those companies, they're no longer here. So the danger of investing in an individual company is that company could be here today, but it could be gone tomorrow. When we invest money for our clients, and what most of you have access to in your company-sponsored retirement plans, whether it's with Fidelity or whoever it is, you have access to mutual funds. Here's the good thing about mutual funds. They're a group or a pool of companies bundled together. The average mutual fund will have anywhere from 50 to well over 100 companies inside of that group. So if, for example, one company goes out of business, let's pretend America no longer runs on Dunkin', but the other 99 companies are doing well, we didn't lose all of our money there. More importantly, mutual funds are professionally managed, Phyllis. So that means a team of advisors is paid to look at the companies inside of this group to make sure that they're staying profitable over time. So if they see one company doing poorly, they won't wait for it to go out of business. They'll actually just take it out and replace it with a better company. That's why growth mutual funds, like you guys are wondering, well, where do we get 9, 10, 12%? Growth mutual funds have actually averaged over 10% over the last 20, 30, 40, even 50 years. So it's important to make sure that depending on what goal you have, your money is in the right place. So you're going to see a bunch of different mutual funds. In fact, let me come back here. There are a bunch of different mutual funds out there. And when your money goes into a mutual fund, what you are doing is your money is getting a piece of ownership of all the companies inside. So you might hear a mutual fund from Fidelity. You might see one from Vanguard. You might see another one from T. Rowe Price. You might see another one from Charles Schwab. What do I make of all of these different names? And there are over 5,000 mutual funds out there and growing.
Right.
But when you invest money in the companies inside the fund. So I might tell you about a mutual fund that you've never heard about, but how many of you have heard of Crest or Duracell or Gillette? In fact, I used Gillette this morning, in case you can't tell. I used Tide last night when I was doing my laundry, right? How many of you have Verizon or T-Mobile or whatever the AT&T? How many of you have a Netflix account? How many of you have Disney Plus? How many of you have Paramount? How many of you have Walmart? How many of you took Advil in the last week? Right?
Yeah.
How many of your children ate at McDonald's over the last week?
Every day.
So these are companies, exactly right. These are companies that could be inside of your mutual fund, a collection of companies. So here's why you can invest. How many of you have an Amazon package on the way to your house right now?
Right.
Don't put up your hands, but it's most of us, right? In fact, literally before I came on here, I was on Amazon looking at some stuff I need to buy for the house. So when you invest, you can invest with confidence, because the question that you have to ask yourself is, do I think that these companies will be around for a while? Do I think that they'll be profitable? And do I think that they'll continue to grow? And here's how you know they'll continue to grow. You're one of the consumers. You're using Amazon. You're going to Walmart. You're going to Home Depot. So if you and everyone else is continuing to shop at these places, instead of just being a consumer, meaning you're buying from them, why not own them? Exactly. And that's what you get with a mutual fund. You get a piece of a bunch of different companies. And that's what the power of investing in mutual fund is. And these are the three main ways that a mutual fund will make you, the investor, money. The first way is a dividend. And this is not like a dividend that you might hear in a life insurance policy. This is an actual dividend. When a life insurance policy tells you they're giving you a dividend, all they're doing is giving you a partial refund of the money you paid them, but they're calling it a dividend. Let me say that one more time. A life insurance policy dividend is just a partial refund of the premium you paid. But a dividend in a mutual fund is a share of the profits of the companies that are inside of that mutual fund. So they're sharing in their profits. And you may have never shopped there, but you're still getting a share of the profits. Capital gains, that's when a company inside of the fund grows. And let's say they sell it for a profit. Like, let's say they owned Amazon since 2010. Amazon is obviously bigger today than they are in 2010. And they could sell that, a piece of Amazon, and if they sell it for a profit, you and I get to take advantage of that. And capital appreciation is another way. It's a company growing in value, but they just hold on to that company. Here's the easiest way for me to describe it, though. Think of a dividend as rental income. Like, Phyllis, if you own a home in Queens and you rent that home to me, it doesn't matter what the home value is, you're still collecting your monthly rent from me as long as I'm a tenant, right? So if your home value gets cut in half, are you going to call me to cut my rent in half if the housing market goes down? Will you call me to discount my rent? No, you still want your rent, right? In fact, if I'm in Queens, you might increase my rent, unfortunately.
Right.
So that's a dividend. A capital gain, let's say you bought a house for, I don't know, $500,000 in Queens 5 years ago. Today, that house might be worth $800,000. If you sell the house, you just got $300,000 in profit. Make sense? And then a capital appreciation is same thing. You bought the house for $500,000. It's now worth $800,000. You hold on to the house. It's now just worth more. Therefore, your net worth is more. So those are the main ways that you'll grow money inside
Right.
of a mutual. And then this is the most important thing before I show you guys some calculators, is something called dollar cost averaging, which is basically a fancy way of saying systematically or consistently investing for your future. If you take a look at these two
Right.
types of markets, you have a rising market where it never goes up and down, or a fluctuating market where it
Right.
goes down and then comes back up. Which one would you want to pick, Phyllis?
I would say the rising market.
That's exactly what I said too, because I never lose any money, quote unquote. But we're
Right.
going to play a little game
Yes.
here. I'm going to be the
Yes.
rising market in this example, and you're going to be the fluctuating market. Let's see what happens
Okay.
as we invest consistently. And this is showing investing $100 a month. Let's take a
Month. Okay.
look at me first. I'm investing $100 a month.
Mm-hmm.
In month one, it's $10 for the mutual fund. So that means, or
Right.
10, I get 10 pieces of the mutual fund because it's $10 a share. In month two,
Right.
it went up in price. So my $100, because it's more expensive, now I get less. And if you notice, as it increases in price, I progressively am able to buy less and less for my $100. Now I put in
Right.
600. If you do the math here, this is 42 shares times 20, that's around 840 bucks. My 600 turned into 800 and something dollars. Did my money grow? Yeah, it did. So I'm
Yes.
happy. But let's take a look
Yeah.
at you, investor B. In month one, it's $10 a share, so you got 10 shares. In month two,
Right.
you might have seen something on the news. The Fed is raising interest rates, so the market went down a bit. But notice, because the market went down, your $100 bought you more shares. By
Yes.
month number 4, it's really down. This is like what happened
Mm.
in March of 2020 when COVID broke out. Remember when the market went
Right.
down a bit? And everyone's thinking,
Yes.
well, it's unsafe to invest. No, it isn't. It's not unsafe, because look what happens when the market comes right back up. It's
Right.
just like if you bought a house for 100,000 and then the housing market crashed and your $100,000 home is now worth 60,000. Are you going to panic
Right.
because your home value went down by 40,000? No, the house is still
No.
there. You just need to
Exactly.
stay living in the house. Eventually, the market will rebound, as it did after the 2008 housing market crisis, and your house is
Right.
now worth more. Similarly,
Yes.
because you stayed consistently investing, which is the most important thing that you want to be, is a consistent investor. When the market was at its lowest, you're able to buy a whole lot more.
Right.
So you accumulated 126 pieces of this mutual fund, or 126 shares. Multiply that by 10, that's 1,260. Because you bought when it was on sale, you got almost double how much I got. So who's better
Right.
off, me or you?
Me. Me.
Exactly. And here's the mistake people make. Yeah. The mistake that people make is when they see the market go down, they think that they're losing money, and you're not losing
Right.
money. Just like if the housing market went down, you didn't lose your home, or you didn't lose value in your home, unless you sold the house when its value went down. But as you notice, if you
Right.
just held on to your account, if you just held on to your mutual fund, if you just held on to your house, you will always have more money. This here shows you the last 20 years. From, I think it's 1995 all the way to 2024. And
Right.
if you had $10,000 invested in the stock market, in mutual funds, whether it's in your 401k or a private brokerage account, that $10,000, if you just left it there, Phyllis, turned into $224,000. And you averaged a 10, almost an 11% rate of return. And we could all agree, a lot of bad things happened over the last 20 years, didn't it? or 30 years,
Yes.
sorry. A lot of bad
Yes.
things. You know, let's go through a couple. There's the
Before
hurricane
you go through a
damage in
couple,
US and Puerto Rico. That was 18. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. Nicole is saying, what about
Sure.
refinancing your home and banking the money? Is that a good decision? Or what do you think about the Robin Hood?
Well, those are two separate things. So
Yes.
refinancing your house, it really depends on why you would refinance your house. Do you need to? Are you carrying unnecessary amounts of credit card and student loan and other debts that are not giving you enough wiggle room? Would refinancing lower your payment, free up more cash? If the answer is yes, it's worth entertaining. But you don't need to
Right.
refinance just for the sake of refinancing. And to answer the second question, is Robinhood good? Well, it depends. I have some clients that use Robinhood because they enjoy doing their own personal trading here and there, but I manage
Right.
their serious money. What I would
Right.
recommend is first work with someone who can provide you with education so you have a better understanding of investing, someone who can help get you started. Hi, how are you? And someone who can
Right.
manage most of your serious money. But if you want to play around and start learning on your own, Robinhood or an E-Trade account or a Fidelity account is a decent place to start as well, where you can start learning on your own as well. But if you're going to be investing serious money for the future, it makes sense to
Right.
work with a trusted financial advisor. And someone like myself, or if you already are working with one, they can give you the guidance that you need specific to your own unique situation. So I don't want to
Right.
answer too many specific questions because, like Nicole, or is it Nicola or Nicole?
Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole, your situation may make sense for you to do a refinance, or it may not. I would need to see that specific situation before I can better give you any kind of guidance. But some clients, it does make sense for them to refinance, and other
Right.
clients, it doesn't. The main
Right.
time it would make sense for you to refinance is if the interest rates are lower, it would lower your payment, keep your debt time horizon the same, but also free up capital for you to eliminate credit card debt, car payments, and still keep more money back in your pocket. So that may be worth entertaining. We provide refinancing solutions in our office as well. We have a partnership with a mortgage loan originator. So if that's something that you need questions answered, we could definitely connect you with that. And we have partners in New York as well. But that's definitely something worth considering.
Yes. Makes sense.
Back to
Makes sense.
this here. Well, was there another question before I continue?
No, that's the two that I'm seeing right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, over the last few years, we could just go over the last 10. There
Right.
was Brexit, ISIS and international tensions, the Israel-Hamas war, Russia invades Ukraine, COVID pandemic, inflation concerns, all of those things, the market is doing well. So my main point there is that you should be investing confidently and investing long term, because a lot of people, they want to, growing up, we used to play hopscotch.
Yes.
Yeah, don't play hopscotch with your money. Think of your
Right.
money as a seed. What do you do with a seed? You plant the seed,
And
you
it.
water it, you stay consistent, and then that seed eventually grows into a giant tree that could provide you shade. And if it's a mango tree, then you could have some food to eat as well. So, and you could string up
Right.
a hammock too. So that's the important thing, that you want to be investing consistently.
I think those
Absolutely.
are some great points that you brought up there, and give people a more clear view of investing, and to ask questions, and to get, you know, someone who could direct them professionally, because not everybody have your interests at hand too. So you have to be
Hmm.
very particular with that, because some people just want to make money, some people just want the fees, so they're not marketing your money or have
Exactly.
your interests at hand. So people have to be
Exactly.
very careful.
And if you're going to be investing money, here are some things to avoid. Don't invest money in risky individual investments, especially when you're starting out. Don't try to chase after like one of your friends tells you, oh, this company, you can buy them on Robinhood, or I saw a TikTok, or whatever the case might be, and they're recommending that you buy this individual company. Individual stocks come with a lot of risk because it could do really well, or it could do really poorly and wipe out your savings. That's the first thing. The second thing is, don't invest in life insurance for retirement. If the person giving you advice is not a licensed investment advisor, and you could Google their
Right.
name and see if they're licensed, if they're trying to sell you life insurance as an investment, that person is not having your best interest at heart. There are way too many things, which we'll talk about on the insurance end, that makes life insurance not the best place to invest for retirement. One of the main reasons is the fees, and fees take a ton of money away from your ability to grow money for the future. So life insurance is not a good place to be investing for retirement. And the third thing, which I would recommend everyone do, is if you're going to be investing money and you're going to work with someone, make sure that they're a fiduciary investment advisor. A fiduciary, someone like myself, has a legal obligation to do what's in your client's best interest, or their client's best interest. So if you're dealing with an insurance agent, they're not a fiduciary. They're just there to sell you a product that will pay them really well. They'll make a nice commission. And 20, 30 years from now, when you're trying to retire with dignity, you'll be left holding a very empty bag. So that's the important thing. So avoid those pitfalls. Avoid things that are really expensive. I pulled up one more screen, Phyllis. I don't know if you could share that. I started to try sharing a screen.
Say one question.
Sure.
I tend to find a lot of people talking about Bitcoin.
So Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. It falls under the umbrella of cryptocurrencies. Am I opposed to that? No, if you want to invest some money in cryptocurrency, I would do my research and learn about it before you invest it. Would I invest a significant amount of my money into it? Absolutely not. It's very speculative. It's very volatile, and it's not yet regulated. And those are three things that make it far less attractive to me as a lump sum, as a place to park my lump sum monies. Now, do I have clients that have cryptocurrency? Yeah, several of them. And when it's doing really well, they call me with all smiles. And when it's not doing well, they call me crying and thankful that they have their money diversified across mutual funds. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah. I definitely wanted to share this screen because one of the big things that I hear a lot of people saying is, well, I'll get to it later, or I'll start investing some other time, or now is not a good time. I'm planning this trip, or I have to buy these presents, or insert any what you would deem valid reason here. And should you go on the trip? Yeah. Should you buy the present? Yeah. Should you go to the nice restaurant? Should you buy the fancy clothes? Should you do all of those things and enjoy yourself today? Absolutely, you should. Unless it's putting you at risk for having a very miserable tomorrow. I'm a fan of doing both. If you can enjoy today and tomorrow, do that. But you never sacrifice tomorrow just to live a fancy lifestyle today. So let's say all you're going to do is $50 a week, which is basically $200 a month. And let's say you're 30 years old. Normal retirement is 67. And mutual funds, if you've seen, have averaged over 10% over the last 30 years. So let's say you're going to start at age 30. If you take a look here, if you start at age 30, just doing $200 a month, you're going to walk into retirement with almost $1 million starting at age 30. But let's talk about the people who wait. If you wait until you're 40 years old, just 10 years later, you're going to walk into retirement with 331. You lost out just for waiting 10 years, which doesn't seem like a long time, but it goes just like that. You don't have, you wasted, that 10 years cost you $600,000. So if you have young children that are heading into the workforce, knock them over the head and tell them, hey, set some money aside. Check this out. If you wait
Right.
until 50, you only have 100,000.
Hmm.
Time is one of your best allies when it comes to saving and investing. Again, going back to that analogy of planting a seed. If you want to eat some mangoes, when's the best time to plant a mango seed? A long time ago.
Good.
Because if you planted
Yeah.
it 20 years ago, you'd probably have some mangoes today. Investing for your future is just
Right.
like planting a seed. The longer you leave it planted and nurture it by continuing to add more to it, the bigger that tree grows, the more you'll be able to live under the shade, hang out in your little hammock. You can tell I need a hammock in my backyard. Anywho, and you'll have mangoes to eat forever. And one of the things that I hear a lot of insurance agents talking about is market crashes. I don't know if you guys have heard of market crashes.
Right.
So here's what
Yeah.
actually happens. The market temporarily decreases. It depreciates. If more people are scared of what's happening in the economy, where the economy might be headed, they are likely to want to sell out of their investments. When they sell out of their investments, the market temporarily depreciates. There is no such thing as a market crash
Right.
if you stay invested in the market, because what happened after 2008? The market went straight up. What happened after COVID? The market went up. What happened after 9/11? The market went up. What happened after 2022? The market went up. Even those who had concerns about where the market's headed over the first year of the new presidency, last year, the market was positive, which is why I said, don't play
Right.
hopscotch with your money, be a consistent investor. And don't listen to people who are trying to scare you by using trigger words without any education behind it to get you to buy their expensive products that make them a nice commission but rob you of your retirement. So avoid those things, and you'll learn more about that the next time I come back. But invest consistently. Any questions for me?
Yeah. I think, yeah, Philia, I think that's some um you especially I think, and you're not knowledgeable. Although when you get older, people tend to, they don't want to do investment, they don't want to take a chance, they're comfortable, they're in their own little space and they don't want to move. But I think when you're older and you or get somebody to manage your stuff, because as you say, it could the package and for you in the inside. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm here. I didn't know I
Yeah.
was on mute. I'm here. Yeah. I
Yes.
I think something that go ahead.
No, it's your turn.
Okay. Something that I did with mine, when I left the Department of Education, I did have a TDA, and I guess at the time I left, I didn't really think about continuing to put money into it because I was no longer working with them. So I did take it out and transferred it into a Roth IRA with Johnny Abraham, but I wasn't continuing to invest in it. So I think
Mhm.
for me, that might have been the mistake. And I know it's never too late, like you
It
mentioned.
isn't. Yep.
Right. So I still have that money in that Roth IRA, but I haven't been making any contributions. So in looking at the 72, the rule of 72, and just looking at more aggressive funds so that my rate of return will be better, should I try to just now start making contributions, or should that money maybe change it from the Roth IRA into something a little more aggressive? What would be a suggestion?
Good question. And the Roth IRA is not the thing that determines how aggressive it is. The Roth IRA just determines the taxation of it. What
Okay.
determines if it grows aggressively or grows conservatively
The
is
investments.
based on the individual mutual funds that are inside. So think of
Okay.
the Roth IRA, your 401k, the TDA, the 403b. Think of all of those as the shell of the car, like
Okay.
the body of the car, the frame. Or
Mhm.
think of them as the grocery bag. What
Okay.
actually determines how fast that
Right.
car goes is the engine. The
Ah.
engine is the mutual fund. So you could have a sport engine in the 401k, the Roth IRA, the TDA,
Mhm.
the 403b, the 457. All
Mhm.
of those accounts could have the same engine or the same mutual fund, and they'll
Mhm.
all get the same rate of return because they have
Mm.
the same engine. The
Gotcha.
difference will be how they're taxed in retirement, because
Okay.
a Roth IRA, which is what you have, which is great to hear, is
Mhm.
a tax deferred and then tax free vehicle for income in retirement. The money that's in a Roth IRA, it
Mhm.
grows tax deferred and it becomes 100% tax free after age 59 and a half. You can take the money out before age 59 and a half for some qualified uses. And you could also take all of your money that you put in before age 59 and a half. We're talking about the growth here. So a Roth IRA is an absolute great investment tool and investment vehicle that everyone who qualifies for it based on your income should be in it. But the
Okay.
thing that determines how it grows or how aggressive it is not the account, but the investment inside of the account.
Okay. Very fair.
Make sense? So
Makes
we could all
100%
go
sense.
shop at Stop
Mhm.
and Shop, and they'll
Right.
all of us will have the same Stop and Shop grocery bag,
But
but all of us might have different groceries inside of the bags. All of
correct.
us might be eaten differently when we get
That
home.
is
Right.
And
I
I'd
right.
love
rather go
that.
eat by Phyllis' house because I hear she
Right.
making oxtails.
I love
So
the
yeah.
analogy. Awesome. Thank you.
Exactly. So you definitely want to do it that way. And Phyllis, you mentioned old and stuck in their ways. Let me make sure I have the ages right. Um, my oldest client is 79
Oh wow.
that is investing with me. She
That's
is
good.
a retired nurse. She worked at Kings County Hospital. She's been a client of mine for well over a decade now. One of my oldest clients, and she's happily invested. She always calls me, "Hey nephew." I call her auntie. She always calls me, "Hey nephew, how's my money doing?" And she's been invested
I love it.
for a very long time with me, over a decade.
Hmm.
And she's enjoying her retirement. She's living
Right.
off of the money that her portfolio has grown into. And when
Hmm.
the market takes a slight dip, she's not worried because she knows she's a long term investor. She's
Hmm.
taking money out of this account every month to supplement her retirement, and
Hmm.
her grandchildren or her children are the beneficiaries.
Hmm.
So she knows that she's not playing hopscotch with the money. She
Right.
knows that sometimes the sun is out for most of the day,
Right.
but sometimes there's a little rain. The rain actually helps the trees grow. So
Very brave.
she's staying as a consistent investor. So
Nice.
if you're later on
Love
in
that.
life, you're in your 50s and your 60s, it's not too late for you to start investing or to look at investing
Ah,
if someone scared you into thinking that investing is not beneficial for you.
Right.
Maybe you took your investment money and you put it in what you think is safe, like a
Hmm.
CD or a money market account or a high yield
Hmm.
savings account. Are those places okay to park money? Temporarily, yes. But if you need that money to grow
yeah.
and fund your retirement and continue to fund a
Hmm.
long retirement, that money needs to be invested. Taking your money out of the market is literally like ripping a
Right.
seed out of the ground and
Hmm.
hoping that you're still going to have some mangoes in the future. It's not going to happen. A
Wow.
seed only grows when it's invested. A seed only grows when it's planted. Money only grows when it's invested.
Okay.
Yes,
Even your
love
lingo
that.
is so helpful.
Shadrach saying
I
it's
try
very
because I like to keep things
in a
simple
very
because I
Yeah.
think
informative.
if people just understand how simple it is
Right.
to get this, I know that there's some companies out there, and dare I even say some financial professionals that like to make things seem complicated
Mm-hmm.
so that they could charge you more. I
Mm-hmm.
get that. But I wanted someone to talk to me, and I like to talk to people the way I wish someone talked to my parents
Mm-hmm.
when they could have started investing. And one of
Right,
the reasons that my family didn't start investing sooner was they were
right,
scared because they weren't educated. They
right.
thought CDs were the better place to be because
Mm-hmm.
they weren't
Ex-
educated. And, people were talking over their head. My
Right.
own parents had their money sitting in
Right,
CDs at their local bank, and it's a doctor and someone with over 30 years of human resources management experience. So well-educated individuals, but on the subject of investing, no
Mm-hmm.
one taught them. So a lack of knowledge created fear, and fear made them do the wrong things with their money.
Right.
Now, thankfully, I got into the industry and now
Mm-hmm.
I'm helping them. They're now on track for their own retirement and they're very
Mm-hmm.
comfortable now. But don't let fear, or rather a lack of education, prevent you from making decisions that can benefit you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And work with someone who takes an educational approach, not someone who takes a sales approach where they're not
Mm-hmm.
trying to teach you something. You should walk away from a financial advisor feeling educated
Right.
about what you're actually doing. Yeah.
right.
Great. Awesome.
So I hope this
How
was
you
helpful.
break it down
Yeah.
there tonight. I mean, there's lots of
It is.
takeaways, the way how you
Yeah.
explain it and everything. And I think person needs kind of break,
Right.
but not everybody technical. And I think love about you is your way how you explain it so they could understand it and have a knowledge of invest and how to try it with what they have.
Mhm.
So it's so
Happy to
great
help.
because not everybody from a family kind of capital. Like, for example, I came from, fairly okay. My mom and dad, not financially, sense of finance, what you should do, how to. I mean, I get, but maybe if I had to school me earlier on, I might have get some things, but I'm comfortable now and trying to get there with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's just
I
baby
think it's
steps.
always
Take
good.
your time, brick by brick.
Yeah, yeah. Rome wasn't built in a day. But as
Right.
I
No.
say again, people don't know how to invest the money, and you're right, and we could still put back in because I have deltas when they come out of membership, they give all of us. I never, and now the stock going up.
Mm-hmm.
Invest in a company.
Yep. So take advantage of your
Believe
company-sponsored retirement plan. That's number one. And then if you don't have a company-sponsored retirement plan, take advantage of an individual retirement plan, which someone like me can definitely help you set up. And someone like me can also help you review your company retirement plan to make sure that it's structured the right way. Like I was working with someone in healthcare. This was, how long have I been working with her now? Maybe 8 years that she's been a client of mine. No, 12. Jeez, time flies. And she had a 401k, but
yeah,
no one ever sat down with her to help her with it. So she was putting money in, but she was putting money
right,
into one of the more conservative options where it was only averaging like 3 or 4%, where there were better options inside of her retirement plan that averaged over 9%. And that could have been an extra couple $100,000 for her in her retirement years. So
right,
it's important to, even if you're not investing outside of your company plan, reach out to someone who can get a second set of eyes on it, educate you on what your options are, and just confirm that, hey, you're doing the right things. Or if you're not, show you how to make some minor adjustments. And the fiduciary advisor can definitely offer guidance and assistance with that. And just like Philia mentioned, if you've left a job and you still have your old retirement plan there, An investment advisor like myself can help you move that money from your old company into a private retirement plan. So you'll be able to start adding to it again, restructure the investment to match where you are now in your financial journey. So never leave money at your old job either. You could either move it into your new company, or what we typically help clients with is move it into a private plan
Right.
that they have more access and control over. So we can definitely offer assistance there.
Good information. I'm seeing here. I told my uncle about he'd like to speak to you, so I guess you'll give your information again.
Okay.
Informative, great job. You know,
Thank you. Thank you. Always happy to help.
you know, I just always say education is power, and we always have to, you know, just in the news.
Mhm.
Each one teach one. You know?
Yes, indeed.
And we're gonna plug information again for them for who wants to reach out to you. Guys, again,
Okay.
yeah, Mr. Taylor can't get it more simple than you. So, you know, reach out.
I'll do my best.
Billy, in closing, you have
Well, thank you for having me again. I guess I'll be coming back soon.
Okay, so you know part 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that really this information is invaluable, and we really appreciate your transparency, your expertise, and honestly, I know you're doing well for yourself, but you can't deny more blessings, more abundance, more
Amen.
overflow. And I
Yes.
pray that all the people who are learning can also refer you, because of course that's how you become more known, and
I
all of
appreciate
your
that.
Yeah.
expertise is more visas. So we will always spread the
Thank you.
word no
Thank
matter
you.
what. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys having me. I'm glad to
Of
help.
course.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you
Especially if
so
we can
much, Mr.
impact our
Taylor.
community for the better. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. God
All
bless
right.
again.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I'll be seeing you
Thank you,
soon.
Taylor. Have
Okay.
some wonderful and safe week. And we have part 3 going to be coming up. And we just want to say
Yes.
again, guys, yeah, we still in January, still get all the ducks in one row. It's not too late to invest, to do the right thing. We're going to come back on. We have one more session. And if you missed last week, go to my YouTube page, share the page, like the page, and, you know, just big up. All right? Have a blessed and wonderful and safe week, guys. Love in the house. I know a lot of people have been sick. I know a lot of people struggling. I want to say condolence going out to one of my co-workers and passed away with cancer. And, you know, it could be very tough on everybody, especially if you have friends and, you know, we love you guys. So my prayers are with you, Kelly, and your family. Again, we keep losing people every minute. Guys, be thankful in the land that you live in, and just be good. Be better than tomorrow. All right? Philly, have a blessed, wonderful, and safe night all. Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night, everybody. Bye, honey.
Good night, Philly.
Night, boo. You know I'm cooking. It's late.